Greetings. My name is Wolfram Alderson, and I'm CEO of the Hypoglycemia Support Foundation, and I'm here with Roberto Ruggiero, our illustrious founder and president of the Hypoglycemia Support Foundation. And Roberta founded this organization over 40 years ago. We're still going strong, and we're here today to talk about a new technology, which is a game changer technology for the Hypoglycemia Support Foundation, anybody who suffers from hypoglycemia, as well as other conditions which are affected by diet. So we're going to be giving a little demonstration of what's called the Perfact platform today. I'll let Roberta say a few words, but after that, we are going to jump on to the perfact.co website and taking the journey that any of you might be taking. We're having this call and this recording because some people, this is a new technology, and some people that have tried it out have found it confusing or don't understand how to use it. But I think once we go through this very short demo, you'll be surprised how easy it is. And I'll be explaining things as I go along. And of course, when we post the video, if you have questions, you can post them in the comments section. But I think once we walk through it, you'll find that this technology is very easy to use and accessible. It's free, and it's there for you to use. So I'll turn it over to Roberta, and then we'll jump into the demo.
Well, I can't say how excited I am that we've come so far. Almost what? I think 7 years, 8 years that we've been working together. And I think 8 years you've been working on Perfact, and that's what we're going to speak about today. For me, I see it as another tool for those that have blood sugar irregularities, whether it's high or low. For us, we aim mostly to our HSF community. We have a support group, a private support group with over 3,200 people on it. And that's who have been seeing it, this Perfact, this tool that Wolfram is going to explain it. And we launched it. We did a soft launch a couple of months ago, and we're getting some great responses. However, there are a few people that are confused, and they're asking, what is it and how do we use it? So for those special people and everybody else, because everyone is super special, we want to make sure that you understand it fully, because it really can be a lifesaver and a life-changing. So Wolfram, I'll send it back to you.
All right. So I'll be doing a share screen, and occasionally you might be seeing me taking a little nip here of my Middle Eastern tea. It's not alcohol in the glass. It's just the way we do it here. I'm actually dialing in from Kuwait, where I'm based. Roberta is dialing in from Florida. For folks in Florida, it's the first part of the day, but it's the evening here in Kuwait. So I'm drinking my licorice tea to keep my eyes open. So we're going to jump in, and I'm going to do a share screen, and we're going to go to a website, which is called perfact.co. And you can go to http:// that's perfact.co, and just hit the return bar. And when you get there, you will see this screen, which gives you a brief introduction to this technology. But just scroll down the page and you'll see this showcase banner here. And there's 4 what we call filters, which are essentially sets of criteria that you can apply effortlessly to filter the entire U.S. food supply based on criteria that's been formulated by each of these entities. And there's 4 filters here. We're going to focus on the Hypoglycemia Support Foundation blood sugar roller coaster filter first, but I'll touch briefly on some of these other filters. But actually, the Hypoglycemia Support Foundation filter is the most rigorous of all 4 of these filters. In other words, it filters out more foods in the food supply than the other filters that are featured here, because many people who are suffering with hypoglycemia, it's a very severe condition for them, and we wanted to avoid any foods that could possibly trigger low blood sugar. And of course, it's called the blood sugar roller coaster filter because many people experience a roller coaster effect. That's to say, high blood sugar and low blood sugar. And this is common in reactive hypoglycemia, meaning a diet-related hypoglycemia or a chronic hypoglycemia that's generally caused by dietary factors. And so anyway, this filter filters out the substances in our food supply which are known to cause hypoglycemia. And we'll actually look at some of the filters, but all you have to do here is it says try it, and you click that button, and it takes you without any sign-in or logins or capturing your email or any of that information. It takes you right away to the Perfact site, to the hypoglycemia filter. And the first thing you see on the screen, and I'm assuming you're all, Roberta, you can see my screen, you can see the—
Yes, absolutely,
yeah.
yes.
So you can see the introduction here, and I'm using the incognito mode of Chrome, but of course this works on any browser that you might use. But what happens the first time you arrive at the site is you'll get this introduction to the filter. And so it explains, it gives you a basic overview. And what it's saying here is this will not only help you screen out foods that trigger the blood sugar roller coaster, but it also helps you find the best prices for Amazon, Walmart, Target, which are three of the larger online food platforms that you might be buying food from. Of course, you can print the list. I'll show you how to do that as well, and just go to any store where you might be shopping. But anyway, just click Let's Go. And you see now we get another little message here, and it's just a little FYI saying there's no one size fits all diet, and the criteria in these filters are generalized. So we tried to choose the safest path, as they say, avoid unnecessary risks, but it isn't necessarily, a filter that will work for everybody, but we felt that we would take the precautionary principle to heart here and screen out any foods that we think might be suspect in terms of spiking your blood sugar. So you can just click got it. And now what are you looking at? So actually arriving here, I see that the filter on the left-hand side, this little bar, if you can see my screen, there's a little bar there, and it's toggled to the right, and you can see the green there behind the toggle. And just to the left of that, there's a little tiny circle, which is, it has an eye inside of it. And if you click on that, it will give you an explanation of what this filter is and does. So I'm going to read it just so you can see this. Most of the products in our food supply are laced with sugar and other food-like substances, in quotation marks, that predispose us to conditions like hypoglycemia that push us further into chronic metabolic disease states and keep us on the terrifying blood sugar roller coaster. HSF has taken a very cautious approach and adopted the following criteria used for the HSF filter. So these are some of the criteria that were used to make this filter. Nothing with added sugar, but up to 5 grams per 100 grams of naturally occurring sugar is okay. Half of that for beverages or double that for dairy products. So what we're saying is that all added sugars have been screened out, but total sugars, meaning the natural sugars that might be in dairy or the natural sugars in fruit, et cetera, those have not been screened out. But we did set some thresholds, more stringent thresholds for beverages, because drinking your calories can easily end up spiking your blood glucose even without added sugar, depending on the beverage. And then we have nothing with sweeteners, but stevia is okay. There are, of course, many different kinds of sweeteners, but such as sugar alcohols like erythritol or others. But we decided that because people with hypoglycemia tend to be sensitive, and your endocrine system might interpret many sweeteners as still being sugar, and your endocrine system can respond nonetheless, even if it's non-caloric. But stevia is one of the safest out there, so we left that in. Nothing with grain flours, but nut flours are okay. So we're avoiding the flours that are well known to be high in starch and therefore convert the glucose instantly in your body. But some of the nut flours, for example, like almond flour, etc., we've left in. Nothing with oils that haven't been cold pressed. And this is not a talk about inflammatory oils or oils that are high in omega-6, but essentially many seed oils and oils that have been industrially processed at high temperatures, etc., can be inflammatory and can also trigger blood sugar dysregulation. And nothing with dairy derivatives, but we leave in whole milk dairy products as they are generally protective, as they say, to diabetes and blood sugar in general. And then nothing with caffeine, and nothing that has been more than minimally processed, only okay if it's obtained by classic non-alcoholic fermentation like cheese, yogurt, vinegar, etc. And so the vast majority of food additives have been left out. And then there's a link there at the bottom. If you click on it, it will take you to the HSF website and you can learn more. But for today, hopefully that will suffice. And again, I'll repeat, this filter is the most rigorous one that Perfact has developed so far. And I'm going to actually turn the filter off. And you'll notice that it says leaving the safe zone. So it's just letting you know, hey, you've turned the filter off, and whatever you see, it might be something that could trigger the blood sugar roller coaster. But I have a reason why I'm turning the filter off. I want you to see how many products were there before we applied the filter. So I'm going to leave the safe zone. And if you look carefully, you'll notice at the top of the screen, it says choose from products, and the platform is recalculating, and it's taking a little bit longer today because there it goes. So choose now from 154,244 products. These products have been actually pulled from the USDA branded food database. It's the most comprehensive database of food products in the US. It's a government site. And we've also pulled data from several retailers, as I mentioned earlier, Walmart, Target, and Amazon. And what Perfact does is it cleans up that data because, frankly, there's a lot of bad data out there in the food system. It's an unfortunate fact. But take, for example, the USDA database, 44% of their data is wrong regarding added sugars. And a lot of the data that's on these retail sites like Amazon also is very poorly managed. So one of the things that Perfact does is when it ingests these large amounts of data from various sources is we clean it up and we only show you the best data that we can find. So if we showed you all the products that are actually available, right, you would not see many images, for example, right now. You would see blank images, or you might see products that were mislabeled, etc. So you're seeing essentially the cream of the crop, if you will. And you'll notice here at the top, it says now 154,000 products. And there is a search bar so that you can put in, a search topic like, pasta sauce, for example. And you can just enter a term without doing any pre-filtering, but you can also do some pre-filtering, and you'll see when I click on this little upside down triangle underneath the food bar there, it opens up a whole range of categories that you can sort by: cooking and baking, sauces, soups and stocks, meat and seafood, breads and bakery, etc. So you can narrow down the search before you even enter a search term. But in this case, I put in pasta sauce, and you'll see that because we're constantly pulling this data to keep the site up to date, we'll occasionally see one of these blank images, and that's just the way the data comes into us. And here you'll see a variety of products, and keep in mind, I still have our hypoglycemia, we call it the Rollercoaster free filter, that the filter is turned off. So right now it's a free-for-all, what you see when you enter in pasta sauce, and you'll get products like spaghetti, this spaghetti original. You'll see there's a lot of ingredients here. I'm just going to throw it into my list before I put on the filter, and I'll give you a good explanation why later. But what I'm actually looking for is some of these pasta sauces here, and I'm throwing them onto my list. You see it says add to list. I'll show you where to find the list in a moment, but I'm just throwing a few products that are very unlikely will not meet the HSF filter criteria. I'm doing that before I apply the filter, so you'll understand why in a little bit. So here's another pasta sauce, and you'll notice probably quite quickly that when I click on the product, you can see sugar is the third ingredient in here, and that's definitely not one of the ingredients that the HSF filter allows in its filter, which is why I'm throwing these onto the list now before I apply the filter. But now that I've done that, I still have pasta sauce in at the top, but I'm going to click on the Rollercoaster free filter, and you can see it has red behind the toggle now. I'm going to click on it, and now it's switching over to Rollercoaster free. And again, you can see at the top bar that the 150,000, whatever number of products was there before I applied the filter, has gone down to 29 products. And now when I click on these products, these are all pasta sauces. When you'll notice that I'm no longer seeing pasta sauces that have sugar in them because the filter has filtered out those products. So I'm going to start throwing some of these into my shopping list. But basically, all of the products you see here, you can see they're very simple ingredients. There's no added sugars, there's no additives, etc. So I'm just throwing a few of these in just for demonstration purposes. I'm adding them to my list. So what happens when I add these products to our list? Looking up at the top again, you'll notice on the far top right, it says show my list. Can you see that, Roberta?
Yes.
Yeah, so show my list. So I'm going to click on that, and it takes me to my list. And what I have here are the products that I've dropped into the list before I had the filter on and after I had the filter on. And you'll see these top 4 products here. They have this causes roller coaster in red print. And you'll understand why I put those in for comparison purposes. So without the filter on, I put that product in this list. And notice now when I click on the product, I now see all of the ingredients that are red flagged by the hypoglycemia filter. So there's additives and wheat flour and vegetable oil, etc., that are in this product that don't meet our criteria. And then you go down the list. This one here, you'll notice it has sugar and it has a seed oil and has other ingredients which were not on our approved list. And you can click on any of these. So when you click on the sugar ingredient and hover over that, you're going to see a little information bar that tells you, other names for that sugar. So sometimes you'll just see sugar, which of course is otherwise known as sucrose, which has glucose and fructose. But sometimes you'll see many other names for sugar than sugar. So it might be called beet sugar or cane sugar. And of course, there's 262 different names for added sugar. And so these are the kinds of little information bits that come up when you hover over any of these ingredients, whether it's red flagged or not. And so you can see many of these ingredients have multiple names. And this is something that the Perfact platform does, is consolidates them. So when you're talking about cow's milk cheese, it has many other types of names that could be applied, but cow's milk cheese is the most generic description of that ingredient. So these ingredients, you notice that down here at the lower bottom, it says EWG. That's environmental working groups. That means that we actually pulled this data from the environmental working group database. And you can also click on the nutrients tab if you just want to see the nutrition facts for this product. And you can see it has 6.5 grams of sugar in it. And the same goes for some of the healthier products that we put on the cart. Same thing, but you notice you don't see any red ingredients in red, which means that this product meets all of the roller coaster free criteria. And again, like this product, the data was sourced from Walmart, so it tells you where the information came from. And again, you can look at the nutrition facts, and you can just toggle on these little tabs here on the ingredient button. Now, what do you do once you have this list? You have a list of tomato sauce, and now you want to buy the product. And so you can click on this and get this as a shopping list, and it will just simply download to your computer, and you just choose which folder you want to put it in, and you can print it and take it to the store. Or you can click on, get everything from Walmart, and you'll put these into your Walmart cart, and you'll click on this, and you'll go directly to the Walmart website. Or if the products are coming from Amazon or Target, that would also apply. You can also save this list or start over again. So you have various options here. Why don't we have Trader Joe's, or why don't we have Costco or other major online retailers here? Well, unfortunately, the way the food data works in our society right now is that many companies don't like to play together or share data, and they make it very hard for companies like Perfact to actually get the data that's on their website. And frankly, they make it hard. Of course, the reason we've provided this platform is because when you go to those sites, it's very difficult to sort the products on the website according to any criteria that makes sense for somebody with hypoglycemia. So this is the best that we can do today, but we are working on expanding the numbers of products from other retailers that are out there. But it really is a complicated mess, as I said, because many retailers don't make it easy to access that data and make it transparent. But we're doing the best we can. As I showed you earlier, we have over 150,000 products that we've been able to bring in and clean up and show you the best of the data. But now I'm going to actually go back to the product list and again explain a little bit of what you're seeing here. So again, I put in pasta sauce, but if I take pasta sauce off, and maybe I want to put in, how about crackers? Because, if you're somebody dealing with a blood sugar roller coaster, and you'll notice here, by the way, we had, without the filter on, with the filter off, we had over 150,000 products. Now we're down to 13,000 products, and that's not even after I've searched. That's just before doing a search. So in other words, we have screened out the vast majority of products that are out there. And part of that is because, like, just one of our criteria, which is no added sugar, that screens out 74% of all products that are on the shelf. That's how many products have added sugar in our food supply. And so now what you see are only the products with no added sugar. And that screens out a healthy portion of products. And then, of course, we have other criteria, such as different kinds of food additives and inflammatory oils and so on. But let's just see what happens if I enter in crackers. And again, I'm not doing any pre-filtering. I could use these pre-filter options, but I'm not doing that right now. I'm just entering crackers. And, crackers are a kind of a perilous category of foods for people with hypoglycemia, because most crackers are loaded with starch, and the fiber's been taken out, and sugar's been put in, etc. And so if you're somebody with low blood sugar and occasionally you want to put a piece of cheese on a cracker, my goodness, your options are very limited. So what you see here are, again, you're going to see some blank images, and that's unfortunately not our fault. We just, this is how the data comes to us, and we're constantly screening through our database to screen out the products with no images. But anyway, one of my favorite brands is here. It's called Mary's Gone Crackers. And why is it here and as opposed to the other crackers are not? Well, organic whole grain brown rice. So the first ingredient is a whole grain. And it's brown rice, of course, is a high fiber form of rice. And you have the whole grain. So it's not the white rice. It's been stripped of the bran and the fiber. And then you see whole grain quinoa, brown flax, organic sesame seed, water, salt, soy, and vinegar. So those are it's a very simple ingredient list. And you can hover over any of these ingredients and you're going to get more information about the ingredients and where this information came from. Or again, you can click on the nutrients per 100 grams. You'll see that it has no added sugar. It's high in fiber, 8.5 grams of dietary fiber. There are carbohydrates here, but you're getting these carbohydrates with fiber and whole grains. So, you know, I don't take any money from Mary's Gone Crackers, but I think it's generally a pretty good product. And then you have some of these other products out here, which are made actually not from grains, but made from cheese. Then they make actual crisps, as they call them, from a cheese product. And again, it's just cheese processed in such a way that it looks and feels like a chip, but it's actually, you see there's no carbohydrates or very few in a product like this, no carbs. And then it gives you the amounts of fats, et cetera, that are in this product. So that's another option for you to go in. And here's another whole grain product. I'm not familiar with this brand, but buckwheat, whole grain brown rice, quinoa, brown flax, and salt. And so there are a few options out there. There's not very many when it comes to crackers. But if you do have a hankering for some crackers, there are some healthy options that you can find out there. So now, if you keep scrolling down, you'll notice it says there's kind of a red line here. You see all this red lettering, and it says, well, there's 1,830 products that don't match your criteria. So once you go below that line, you're going to start to see products out here. But you notice that it has the thumbs down symbol here. That's the Perfact logo, as opposed to these products up here, which are thumbs up and in the green, but these are in the red. And so when you click on any of these ingredients, you'll learn why. Well, there's wheat flour, 2 different kinds of flour in this product. And you can make a decision and you can still go ahead and put these into your cart, but it's going to tell you why it didn't pass our filter. This product here has high fructose corn syrup in it, partially hydrogenated cottonseed oil, et cetera. So, you know, you can see right away which ingredients didn't pass through our blood sugar roller coaster filter. Roberta, it looks like you might have a question, so please go ahead and ask anytime.
Yeah, a few, not a question, just some statements I wanted to share with some of the people. The Marys, I just came across them. I'm now living in Port St. Lucie with my daughter and my son-in-law, and he introduced me to Mary's. And they really are good. Sometimes at night before you go to bed, you just feel like you have to have something. And now that I'm seeing what's in it, I understand why. So that's great about Mary's, but go back to the other one because I did not realize, let's see, the club snack. So I was at somebody's house and that's all that they had. And I started to feel shaky. So I tasted them, not the Ritz, the club. And there it is, the club snack. I am shocked at what I just saw. If you can click on that. So I had a few of them and I said, well, they're not so bad. And I had them with the, you know, protein and they were fine, but look what is in there. And high fructose corn syrup, you know, plus corn syrup on the bottom.
Now there's
So,
two sugars, well, 3
plus the
sugars. Actually.
sugar.
You see sugar,
So,
high fructose corn syrup, and corn syrup. So why do they put 3 different kinds of sugars on there? Well, if they actually only used 1 sugar, those 3 ingredients combined would probably push it up to at least the first or second ingredient. but to push
Right.
sugar down on the list, and probably for other reasons related to, many complex reasons how ultra processed foods are made. But one of the strategies that the food and beverage industry uses is use multiple types of sugars so that it doesn't show up in the top 3 ingredients. But if you actually combine those 3 sugars, it would very likely move it up to the top of the list. And
Right.
again, you can
So
hover
this is
over any of these
incredible.
for more information. And we're not going to go into the whys, it's like a whole nother program on sugars. I will show you before we end, just very briefly, some of the other filters, like Dr. Robert Lustig has several filters just on sugars. And you can experiment with those filters as well. And you can actually, if you'll notice here on the left-hand side of my screen where it has the Rollercoaster free filter, it says show more filters. So you can actually click on that and it opens up a list of other filters, because Perfact actually has well over 60 different filters. We chose to just feature the Rollercoaster filter here. We didn't want to confuse you, perhaps the first time you're visiting this site, and it might be too much information. But if you look down the list, you'll see ketogenic, low carb, low cholesterol, low in salt and sugar, not ultra processed, vegan, vegetarian, cruelty free. This is just a sampling of filters. We have some allergy filters, just a sampling of filters that you might want to try in addition to the Rollercoaster free filter. And if you want to experiment, you want to know more information, just click on that little eye in the circle next to any of the filters. It'll explain to you what it is. And then, of course, if you want, you can apply the filter just by clicking on the toggle, and boom, it'll actually apply, and it will. So now I have 2 filters on, and only 4 products match. So every time you add a new filter, it's potentially filtering out more products. Now, if I take my search term off there, it's going to then recalculate for all of the products, not just crackers. And so now there's 9,000 products available matching these 2 filters. But if I take the keto filter off, it's going to creep up. I think it was around 13,000 the last time I looked. Yeah, so there's 13,500 products. So you can just see how easy it is to apply these filters and play around. And then, like I said, you can put these products into your list, and it's just as easy as show my list. And then you can go and print the list. You can take things off the list here, because I dropped these in before I applied the filter. So I can just click on the X there and remove some of these products that don't meet the criteria. And now I just have the products that do meet my criteria. You notice that along the way here, I didn't have to give any of my information, my email. There's no fees or anything, so it's that easy. But if you want the platform to remember some of your criteria that you've applied, you can enter your name and create a password, an email, and click on Remember Me, and No, I'm Not a Robot, and the platform will remember you. But there's no membership, no signups required. It's literally that easy to sign up. I'll go back to show products. And so this is just a brief introduction. We're not going to go on very much right now. We just wanted to give you a very brief introduction to this new technology. And to go back to the Perfact platform, you can do the same thing on any one of these filters. So the Nova filter filters out ultra-processed foods. The criteria set is different than the Rollercoaster filter, but honestly, many of these filters are very much aligned in terms of the kind of foods that they filter out. You have Dr. Lustig's filter here, which again, all you have to do is click on the filter, and it will take you to to Dr. Lustig's filters, which are a little more complex. And you can see, because I've already selected in this session the Rollercoaster free filter, it shows up here on the list. I'm going to turn that off, and then I can just apply Dr. Lustig's no added sugar filter. And so right now you can see at the top it's recalculating because I turned off all the filters, so it's back up to 154,000 products. but I'm going to apply Dr. Lustig's no added sugar filter so that you can see again how many products are filtered out of the food supply just with that one criteria, no added sugar. And that means the 262 types of sugar that are in the food supply. So now it's down 1/3 of the products out of that list of 150,000 match that criteria. And so if I apply, but if let's say I want to be a little more rigorous and I want to apply the blood sugar roller coaster filter, then we can, we can screen out even more foods. But for now, we're gonna just go back to the Perfact site. There's a couple of other filters that you can experiment here with in your spare time. But I think for our audience and people with low blood sugar, please try the blood sugar free filter. This is new technology, and so we encourage you to give us your feedback. We're learning new things every day about how consumers are interacting with this platform, and we'd be happy to receive your feedback. And of course, the technology and the platform will be evolving as we do. So here you can see it has, as I selected on the last window, Dr. Lustig's filter, but if I take that off, again, it's going to roll back up to 150,000 products. And then when I apply the blood sugar roller coaster free filter, it's going to whack off a large percentage of the products. I think it comes down to about 13,000 plus 13,500 out of 150,000. So you can see it is the most rigorous filter that Perfact's developed so far. So I'm going to stop there. This is just meant to be a brief intro because some people were wondering like, oh, I clicked on that filter and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I was looking at. And you can see just by clicking around and playing with this, it's actually quite intuitive, and you can sort things out pretty quickly. Just remember that little button up there on the right-hand side says show me my list. That's where you're going to find the products that you selected, and you can print that list, or you can go to the retailer, and you'll notice that for some products, not all products, but for some products you'll see various pricing. So this has the prices for Walmart, and you'll see sometimes you'll see Amazon prices here. So it's letting you do a little comparison shopping before you even put it into your cart. Looks like this product is pretty much the same at both Amazon and Walmart, but that's what this little bit of information is down here in the lower left. And the list goes on. So I just encourage you to try it out. Again, let us know what you think. Give us your feedback. But we've seen quite a few people now who are returning to the site over and over again and using this to help filter through the food supply, which can be very confusing. Oftentimes when you look on these products, it's hard to read the labels, and we make it very easy for you. You can see this product here, just 3 ingredients. You can look at the nutrition facts. You can see down below, we got data from 3 different sources on this product: Walmart, USDA, Environmental Working Group. So we've cross-checked that data now from 3 sources, and we shared the best of it with you. So I'm going to stop there because we don't have much more time, and we'll encourage you to reach back out to us. And Roberta, please, if you have a very brief comment, because we're almost at the top of our hour, but we'll be sharing this video on the HSF channels, the social media, and so on. It'll be on our YouTube channel, and we look forward to hearing from you.
I was very surprised when I spoke this week and you gave me a number of how many people have been responding. Can you give us that number? So give hope to some of the people that, it does work and we're getting great
Well, we've been seeing tens of thousands of people coming to the Perfact site, and not just for one visit, but for multiple visits, and the numbers are increasing every day. So we encourage you. The platform isn't perfect yet. It's a new technology. It's the only platform in the world that offers you this option to filter through so many products. And so you will find the link to Perfact easily on the HSF site. When we post this video, we'll provide the link as well. But it's perfact.co, Perfact.co, and only need HTTP. You don't need the S. it will forward you to a secure site. So don't worry about that. But start off with http // And again, we'll post that link in the site. And I'm going to close it here because we've run out of time. But we look forward to hearing from you sometime soon, and let us know what you think. Thank you.
Okay.
And figuring out how to stop
I
the
hope that
video. Bear with me, just going to stop the video. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time.